Okay. Hi. So this is Neil. So in this video, we are going to discuss on very interesting topic called exception. So exception is nothing but it's an event which does not allow your program to execute. Exception happens at compile time as well as runtime. Okay. For example, I open a page. Okay. So in this one, I just add here exception. In Java, exception I just add here. It's an erroneous event which happens at compile time as well as runtime. Okay. Particularly in Java, exception is a class which comes under throwable. So if you see that in Java, throwable is a class. Under throwable, you can find exception and error. Okay. So I make it here. Throwable. Throwable is a class. Under throwable, you can find exception. Exception is a class. Exception is a class. Same with it. Error also is a class. Okay. Now just add like this. It's very simple. Okay. So I make it to understand very clearly. So for example, if I open a command prompt, I have JDK in my machine. I make a path setting. Now I type here java p java.lang.throwable. Throwable is a class which comes under java.lang package. Can you see that? So I type that at the command level. Command level java p is nothing but it's a executable file which is in the bin folder. Okay. So java p stands for Java package. I type here java.lang package, throwable is a class. So which are the methods are there? You can see them. Similar like that, I'm going to type here, I clear the screen, CLS. Now I type here java p java.lang.exception. Exception is a class which extends throwable. Can you see here? Exception is a class which extends throwable. So that means exception is a class, is a subclass for throwable class. Throwable is a parent. Can. Same like that, I can type here java p java.lang.error. Error is a class that also extends with throwable. You can see that. Throwable. Okay. Error also is a subclass. The parent for error is throwable. You can. So, particular interview point of view, they ask the question, which is a superclass for exception and error? You need to say that throwable is a class. All comes under java.lang package. Okay. Now, here, error we cannot handle. Error which happens outside the program. Example for error is like JVM error. Okay. Suppose if I have a problem with JVM, the program itself not get executed. So what you do, you have to uninstall the JDK and you have to install it again. Then you have to do that. Same like that, like stack overflow, stack underflow. These are the example for error. Error we cannot handle, which happens outside the program. Stack is like a memory. There is a problem with the memory, so we need to handle that one. So this, it happens outside the program, so we cannot handle this. Okay, but the exception we can handle. Particularly in Java, there are two types of exception is there. One is checked exception, another one is unchecked exception. Okay, in this one, if you see the checked exception is nothing but an exception which happens at compile time. The compiler, while compiling a program, it come across those exceptions. We can call that as a checked exception. So example for checked exception is like I make it here. Checked exception. Example is IO exception, file not found exception, whenever if you are dealing with thread. So interrupted exception. Okay, if you connect to database, class not found exception. Okay, similar like that if you have some issue with SQL, so SQL exception. These are all checked exception. So these are the example for checked exception. Checked exception you need to handle by using try catch, or you can add like a throws. But if there is a problem is there, the program get shut down, the program not get executed. So you need to handle anyway. So you can use try catch, or you can add like a throws. You can surrender with try catch or throws. Okay, this one. And similar like that, unchecked exception. Unchecked exception. Example for unchecked exception is arithmetic exception. Okay, number format exception, array index out of bounds exception. Okay, similar like that, null pointer exception. Okay, like that you can find many exceptions. So unchecked exception is the thing which is not checked by the compiler. It happens at runtime. Whenever if you are running a program, that time those exception it happens, that we can call unchecked exception. Okay, so take this example. If we divide a number by 0, so program compiles successfully, it won't show any error. At the same time, while running a program, it throws an exception called arithmetic exception. Okay, so you need to handle that. So particularly exception, if you not handle, what will happen? I show with example. Exception is the simple way, like it's a problem. We need to handle the problem. Okay. Now I'm going to show an example. Just consider here. I make an example here. I create a class. Okay. I make a class with the name demo. Demo is a class. So this is a class. Under this class, I make a main method. In this main method, I make a variable. Integer x is equal to 22. Integer y is equal to g. So 2. I make a variable like this. So just I make a message here. Welcome to division program. And here I'm going to divide a number. So system.out.println division of plus x plus slash plus y plus is plus. Okay. So here I'm going to print the output. So if you need to print the output, I make it x slash y, or you can assign this one to the variable also. You can that time print. So as soon as I'm making here by statement. Okay. Now I save this file. Now if I run this program, now the program execute normal way. There is no issue. So it is printing the message like welcome to division program. Division of 22 divided by 2 is 11, and by statement it's printing. There is no issue. At the same time, if I divide a number by 0, now whenever JVM execute, run this program, run as Java application. See here, whenever JVM it execute up to this line, like it's printing like welcome to division program. Whenever if we divide a number by 0, so 20, that is 22 divided by 0. If we divide number by 0, JVM it informs to me what type of problem is there. Can you see that? So here the exception in thread main java.lang.arithmetic exception divide by 0 exception is there. In line number it is mentioning, can you see that it's displaying the line number 8, the problem is there. This is the line number 8, the problem is there. It displays the exception, but at the same time it shut down the program. It not printing the by statement. So if you not handle the exception, the program gets shut down. JVM shut down the program. For example, if I have 100 lines of code, in that 100 lines of code, under that like 44th line, if I have a problem like divide a number by 0, so JVM what it will execute from first line to 43rd line. Whenever it come across 44th line, you shut down the program. So we don't allow the JVM to shut down the program. For that, we need to handle the problem. So what do you do? We need to handle the problem by adding try catch. So if you need to handle the exception, you have to use try, catch, throw, throws, and finally. all are keywords. With the help of these keywords, we can handle the exceptions. Okay.
Hi students, if you really like my video, if you enjoy the video, please subscribe and like my channel. So I need your support. Thank you.